As an FBI agent in the field, you do not have to wait till someone starts shooting at you. If a bad guy has a weapon and you identify yourself as law enforcement and they refuse to put the gun down, you can take that shot, but you're going to need to articulate why you believed it was justified. Hi, my name is Tom Simon, and I am a private investigator in Florida. But before that, I was an FBI special agent for 26 years, and today I'm going to be reacting to some portrayals of the FBI in media. Let's do this.
FBI! Down, freeze! I got him! Freeze! Get out! Get in! Get in!
FBI agents are severely discouraged from engaging in high-speed car chases because of the collateral damage. You don't want to be killing a lot of civilians and causing accidents along the way. What my boss has always told me is, we're the FBI. We'll catch them tomorrow. I blew out his knee. Now you shoot him? You just ran a half mile with this guy. You could have shot him the entire time. You have bullets that go the speed of sound, and now you're going to take the shot after you blew out your knee? Well, the character of Johnny Utah, played by Keanu Reeves, was a rookie. He was a bit of a cowboy, and that thing at the end where he's shooting into the air, that is a dangerous game, though, because every one of those bullets is going to come down, and hopefully not on some poor guy's head. I remember liking the movie. It's been years since I saw it, and when I was an FBI special agent in Honolulu, Hawaii for 7 years, we would go surfing before work and then go to the office after showering at the outdoor showers in Waikiki, so we all kind of thought we were Johnny Utah catching the waves.
FBI!
She needs to go to the door with him. You don't knock on a door alone. Knock on the door and then move out of the way yourself so you're not in a clear shot as soon as the person opens the door.
Hi there. Hi, I was wondering if you take a look at that for me.
Ooh, that's bad. Get away from the window. He can shoot you through the window. That provides you no concealment or cover. Entering the house is questionable. After her partner was shot, you have a situation. Do you go into the house to chase him, or do you perhaps drag your partner in a way that he could get medical attention, call in the SWAT team, and deal with a barricaded subject inside?
Hi, Mom.
Lee?
Yes? Still your only daughter? Anyways, I was calling to let you know that I'm gonna be busy now. With work.
That's a call I've made dozens of times when the case is breaking.
They put me on something important.
What is it?
I can't tell you.
Also correct.
Not nice things.
I don't think the Bureau has a division for nice things.
I love that line. Every FBI agent's salary is grossed up 25% for what they call availability pay. And it seems like a good deal at the time, but what it means is that when the FBI needs you to work around the clock on a big case, you make that call to your family members telling them you can't make dinner tonight, you can't make Christmas morning because you're out on a case. That was very realistic. When you're working on a case involving extreme violence, it's important not to share too much with your family because you don't want to make them nervous that you are in some kind of danger, but you also don't want to jeopardize the integrity of the investigation by giving away too much because it makes for a fun story at the Thanksgiving dinner. You keep those things under wraps, share them with your colleagues at the office. The FBI has an employee assistance program, and any agent who's feeling stressed about the job has the ability to talk to a counselor or a psychologist with no repercussions coming back to them. It's mandatory, though, for agents who have gone undercover for long windows of time, like I did, to see a psychologist regularly because that can really play with your head. I have never ridden in an airplane like that.
I just got the 911 call from the Georgia State Police. 911.
Oh, come on. FBI agents fly coach. This is nuts. Well, the Behavioral Analysis Unit does not have its own beautiful private plane like Air Force One to fly around and solve crimes. The FBI does have a fleet of airplanes, but it's not available for normal agents like myself to fly around on cases. I've flown around the world on FBI planes, and it's just about as bad as any coach seat.
I'm sorry, did you say somebody is killing someone?
Well, Unsub 1 definitely sounds frightened. Maybe he's doing this against his will.
Unsub, that means unknown subject.
We need to hit the ground running. JJ, we need an inside picture of the victims. Victimology can be critically important in a mission-based spree.
Already on it.
They serve as consultants to the FBI agents in the field, as well as police departments who ask for their help. But they're not superheroes flying around, swooping in, and actually making the cases themselves. They're consultants.
Referring to oneself in the third person is not uncommon for an unsub. Ted Bundy gave thoroughly detailed accounts of his murders, but he never actually admitted to doing it. He would just say, the killer.
Every FBI agent who goes through the FBI Academy in Quantico, Virginia, learns basic behavioral science. The art of criminal profiling is about making educated guesses based on evidence that's been collected. What do we know about this person? Was the killer male or female? How old is this person? What is his likely race? What types of things do we know about him based on the clues that he's left behind? They're educated guesses, and quite often their hit rate is not as good as television would have you believe.
Examine the wounds. They managed to kill 2 victims in 4.5 minutes. We need to know how.
You got it.
For every serial killer case the FBI has ever worked, and I've been on a couple, you're the case agent in the field, and you're the one running the leads down. You may call upon the BAU to provide you with support and advice and consultations, but they're not going to be the ones swooping in there to catch the bad guy. It's you, the case agent. The show Criminal Minds has really captured the public's imagination, and I get calls every week from young people wanting to know if they should major in psychology to become FBI special agents because they want to work in the behavioral analysis unit. I tell them that psychology is not a competitive major for the FBI agent position, and I'd rather see them get a degree in something technical, such as engineering, accounting, or computer science, and then if they want to be profilers later in their career, the FBI has a special school they'll send them to.
Get ready. They can see our lane clearing. It's coming. It's coming now.
This is a tense scene. It wasn't clear from this scene which side of the border they were on, but if the FBI is doing operations in Mexico, they have no authority. However, the border is porous in between Mexico and the US. But keep in mind, there's also Mexican authorities over on the other side of the border who are supposed to be enforcing the laws there. And hopefully there's collaboration between the two nations.
No move!
Compas. Suelte la pistola. Tírela. ¿Ah? ¡Quieren morir!
What are we doing?
These agents have a lot of paperwork ahead of them. Without question, the US government has covert teams that operate overseas, but the inclusion of an FBI agent who's a sworn law enforcement officer here in the US on a team like that gets into a real dicey area because the oath to the Constitution that the FBI agent makes precludes them from breaking the law, which would include taking lives and conducting investigations in another country without that country's permission. Anytime you're involved in a deadly force situation, you need to pay attention to not only the bad guy in front of you who you're going to be shooting, but the people behind, because not every shot goes where you want it to go realistically. So you need to be careful of the civilians behind you and make the decision, should I take the shot even if I'm legally justified to do it? These are agents that had an excuse to take that shot, and it's not going to be second guessed by management too much. I've never actually seen the entire movie, but I was on the edge of my seat watching that scene. It's something I'm going to have to stream because that was an amazingly tense scene, and I love tense movies.
What's the problem, officer?
Well, I'm investigating the death of Frederica Bimmel.
The idea that they would take an FBI agent from the academy who is currently going through training and throw them on a big case like this, as opposed to be sitting in class at Quantico, is nuts. That would never happen in real life.
Want to come in while I look for it?
May I?
Yes, sure.
Thank you. Did you take over this place after Mrs. Lippman died, is that right?
Yeah, I bought this house 2 years ago.
Did she leave any records, any business records?
I would advise any agent conducting an investigation with this much violence to not go conduct interviews alone. They partner us up for a reason. The agent needs to take control of the interview, have him sit down, sit across from him and begin asking questions. The idea that he's wandering around loose in his house on a case this serious is preposterous.
Here's that number.
Very good, Mr. Gordon. May I use your phone, please?
This is before cell phones, obviously.
Freeze! Put your hands over your head and turn around. Spread your legs.
When I went through the academy, they always told us to say, don't move. They said not to say freeze. They said, don't move is unambiguous. Everyone will know what that means. The FBI cooperated with the production of this movie and will open their doors to the FBI Academy in Quantico, Virginia to film the scenes that took place at the Academy. And many of the extras in the movie were actual FBI agents, some of whom I ended up working for as an agent in Chicago. I think every FBI agent absolutely loves this movie and is willing to forgive the slight inaccuracies that happen throughout the story. But that's Hollywood, right?
Distinguishing features include large ocular cavities, oblate cranium, indicate subject is not human.
FBI agents are not medical examiners. We don't do autopsies. We could be present while a qualified medical examiner is doing their job, but the idea that FBI agents are going to be cutting open corpses, whether they're an alien, a chimpanzee, or a person, is preposterous.
Could you point that flash away from me, please?
If it's not human, what is it?
It's mammalian. My guess is it's a chimpanzee or something from the ape family, possibly an orangutan.
Buried in the city cemetery, in Ray Soames's grave. Try telling that to the good townsfolk, or to Ray Soames's family. I want tissue samples and x-rays.
I was the training agent in my career for about a dozen young agents, and it was always a very cordial relationship. I was never bossing them around or barking at them. I was there for them as a resource so they wouldn't get in trouble doing something that was in their instincts but against FBI policy. And every single one of those people remains a friend to this day. I can't imagine treating a trainee or a probationary agent the way that the gentleman was treating the female agent.
You don't honestly believe this is some kind of an extraterrestrial. This is somebody's sick joke.
We can do those x-rays here, can't we?
Probably the #1 question I've gotten over the past 30 years is, what is the FBI hiding regarding aliens? Is there an X-Files squad? And the answer to that is, of course, no. The information that's coming out right now involving aliens, where's it coming from? It's coming from the FAA and it's coming from the US Department of Defense, the two agencies of the US government that have planes in the air. The FBI doesn't have an air force. The FBI is hiding nothing from you. But then again, that's exactly what I would say, isn't it?
Merry Christmas! How is it that we're always talking on Christmas, Carl? Every Christmas, I'm talking to you!
Young Frank Abagnale, so cocky. Back in the 90s, I was giving a speech to a Bankers Association meeting, and Frank Abagnale was speaking right after me. So this was before the movie, but I got to meet him and talk with him for a little bit, and he was a really nice guy.
That's right. I think it's just me and you, and you know what? You're gonna have to catch me yourself.
We don't have time for this.
That's good. That's good. Tell me what you want me to see, huh?
The manic bargaining of a con artist. I've seen it before.
You're wearing a wedding ring, Carl. You lied to me about that. You lied about that!
You asked me if I had a family. I did, but I don't anymore.
The agent needs to be careful about oversharing from his life. Remember, you're dealing with a criminal. Con artists are con artists because they're charming, and it's not beyond the FBI agent who's human to be receptive to that charm. And you try to return that same energy to them and show that this isn't personal. My job's not to punish you. My job's to figure out what happens and catch you, if I can.
You walk out that door, they're gonna kill you.
Is that the truth?
Yeah.
There's a bond between these two because they've been dealing with each other for so long in this cat and mouse game. That would never happen.
I got him. It's all right.
People often ask me if I'm worried that the criminals I investigated and put in prison are going to come back to get me. And the answer is no, and I think you can understand that from that clip. It's not the FBI agent's job to treat people poorly. We do what we do, and we do it well because we're nice people. We get people to talk to us because we're kind people.
Don't worry, Frank. I'll have you extradited back to the United States. Don't worry.
I really like this movie because it shows how personable the FBI agent can be with even someone he's trying to arrest. Frank Abagnale ended up saving the banking industry tons and tons of money because he became a consultant using his skills for the good after he paid his debt to society. He wrote a very famous book called Catch Me If You Can as well, and he developed new technology that we take for granted right now, making checks that have watermarks on it and other things as part of his consulting company that would be harder for people to counterfeit.
Let's start by examining our guest of honor. The killer left the heart right next to the body. Bruising on the wrist from the cargo straps holding him down.
I like that they're observing everything, and they wouldn't be touching anything in real life. That part's good. It's hard to tell if she's wearing gloves. There's no way she would be at a crime scene without gloves. You would secure the crime scene. There just wouldn't be two agents wandering around kind of labeling evidence haphazardly. You would have a cast of thousands there, bagging and tagging evidence, taking photographs, and making sure that nothing is trampled upon that could be evidence.
Heart removed from chest, strapped by the wrists. Definitely matches the previous murders.
I had no problem with the portrayal of the agent thinking things through. That's the internal dialogue that we all have when we're trying to solve a big case. Again, it's probably less dramatic in real life, and agents do in fact have workrooms where they could kind of put charts on the wall if they wanted to, but a lot of that's done electronically right now, particularly link charts linking certain pieces of evidence together with other evidence in the case from interviews or phone records.
But why Nightingale?
I'm wondering why there's no lights at her office. She could be turning the lights on.
Nightingale was chosen as the victim. Why?
Flip the switch. It goes click.
While it would have been very useful in my career to have a ghost guiding me through the investigation, sadly the government doesn't have those on staff.
Sheriff?
What the hell?
Oh my god, the victim's alive. It's a zombie. Oh god, shoot it. Why are you... Okay, good. Shoot it. Center of mass. I guess it's a zombie. You gotta shoot it in the head, right? Oh, this is a bad day at the office. Well, it's dramatic, and it's supposed to be. It's a video game, right? It wasn't bad as far as that goes. It's very stylized, and that's intentional, but they also seem to have put a lot of thought into making it seem realistic. Thank heavens this is fiction.
I also awoke from the same dream, realizing that I had subconsciously gained knowledge of a deductive technique involving mind-body coordination operating hand in hand with the deepest level of intuition.
Clearly the scientific method here.
Dr. Lawrence Jacoby, Laura's psychiatrist.
Dr. Lawrence Jacoby.
You did it! You hit it!
Well, there you have it. That scene was completely preposterous. I'm gonna allow for the idea that there are eccentric FBI agents out there. I've known a few, but the idea that an eccentric FBI agent is going to embarrass our agency by dragging local police into an exhibit of nonsense like that is unthinkable. That's a person who would need to turn in their badge and credentials the next day. We are not about intuition as an agency, we're about evidence. The FBI agents are painstakingly devoted toward following actual clues and not superstition like how quickly you can throw a rock and hit a bottle that's going to somehow reveal something. Absolutely nonsense. No sale here. It's important for people to know that murder is not a federal crime unless the bad guy is crossing state lines to do it, such as a serial killer case. A murder in a small town, there's no situation where the FBI would be in charge of it. Now, local police will occasionally ask the FBI to come assist on a serious crime, and we're always happy to do that, but the idea that we're going to take over the investigation, shove the locals out of the way, and start throwing rocks at bottles to make it happen is absolute, complete nonsense.